Hello everyone, my name is Hannah, and today we are doing my May wrap-up. So first off, I got really sick this month, so my voice is definitely not normal sounding at all, so I apologize for that. But I thought it would be fun to go over the 5, technically 6 books that I read in May, and then we are going to be rolling on the Gumball Machine of Destiny and see what I will be reading in June. So let's get into it. So I say I read 5 books, technically 6, because one of them was a reread, and I'll get to that in a second. But all of the books that I read this month were actually a book series that I started in January, and I was not enjoying it. I wasn't liking it at all in January, and I think I only got a couple hours in, if that, before I was like, no, I'm done. The thing is, though, I made a deal with a coworker where if she has to read this series, which was The Boys of Tommen, then I have to read her favorite series, which ended up being Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And I started in January. We made this deal all the way back, probably around January or February, where I have to read the Red Rising series and she has to read all of the Boys of Tommen. But we're gonna go over the books of the Red Rising series that I finished this month, and I will tell you what I rated them. So, like I said before, I'd started Red Rising like early January, and I really was just not very into it. And this month I was just like, you know what, screw it, we need to get going on it. So obviously I read the first one, Red Rising, which I was like, about. It was fine, but I wasn't really like loving it. It's about halfway through the book when it just took off, and I really started to kind of like it. But it wasn't until I started Golden Sun, and I actually started listening to it through graphic audio or the dramatized adaptions, which obviously has like the sound effects and the full cast and all that stuff, that I was really just hooked. So I actually rated Red Rising 4 stars, which is pretty damn good for a book that I wasn't fully enjoying in the first part. And then I rated Golden Sun 4.5 because I was listening to the graphic audio and I was like, this is amazing. I was really invested. Like, I don't know why. I'm usually not a graphic audio type person, but like this made a big difference for me where I was just very focused on it. So, and then I read Morning Star, which actually was a 5-star read. I loved this one. It's so heartbreaking, but so good. I was absolutely just, a couple times I was just very upset or like heartbroken, which I think is a lot of times I want that in a book because I don't know, I like to torture myself. Okay. So then this gets to the point where technically I had a reread because I read Red Rising again, but I did it through the graphic audio, and let me tell you, it made a complete difference. I loved it in graphic audio, and so I did count this as another reread because I did read the whole thing. I did not like breeze through it at all. I literally front to back. So I'm counting that as another book, which is probably cheating, and some of you probably won't agree with me, but I counted it. So next, obviously, I read Iron Gold. This is actually the lowest rated one from me. I don't know. I didn't quite enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed the other one, so I ended up giving this a 3.5. I mean, I still think it was good. There were a lot of parts that I was like just frustrated about, and there were a lot of switching point of views. But other than that, I mean, I still think it's a great addition to the series. It was interesting because if you don't already know, this book actually happens 10 years after the original 3. So it was really interesting to see how lives have changed, how society has changed, how, I mean, it's still just as chaotic, but it's pretty damn good, you know? But this one just wasn't rated as highly as the others, unfortunately. So next, obviously, I read Dark Age, which is the 5th one in the series. This one got a 4 stars for me. I really like this one. I like this one more than Iron Gold, and I'm hoping Lightbringer is even better. So anyway, that is all I read this month. Again, I got really sick for a week, and I haven't been reading very much this year, which I don't know what's going on with me. I've just been in a really bad slump. But now we are going to go through my June hopefuls. I already have 3 selected that we'll get to in a moment, but we are going to be spinning the Gumball Machine of Destiny for maybe 4 more. I'm thinking 4, being very ambitious with the 4, but let's go over what I have already. So obviously I will be finishing Lightbringer. I have about a quarter maybe left. Obviously devouring this as well. I'm a little nervous. If you've read this series, it seems like things just keep getting stacked up and things just keep getting worse for the characters. So I'm very nervous to finish this one because I know there hasn't been a release date or anything for the next one, and that terrifies me because if this ends on a cliffhanger or something like that, I am going to be a different person. So as I said earlier, I start a lot of deals with people at work where I have to read this if they read that, and like sometimes it turns out pretty damn good. It's a really good way for me to like exploring different genres and all this stuff. So I actually had another deal with another co-worker where she had to read the Akatar series because she hadn't read it yet. And in turn, I have to read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, yes, by Holly Jackson. I have to read, I think there's 3 of them in this. I have to read all 3 of these, so this is one of the ones that I want to get done for June so I can just start marking that off of my finished list. And finally, I have a book club that I'm part of, and our book is Wuthering Heights because we all kind of voted on it, and I know the movie just came out. I'm not like so excited to see the movie, but I would like to read the book obviously before I watch the movie, so we all voted that we'll be reading Wuthering Heights, so that's a June monthly I hope to be getting to. Now, Gumball Machine of Destiny. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, you're not going to know very much about the Gumball Machine of Destiny, but it is obviously a gumball machine full of different colored capsules, and each color correlates to a different theme, prompt, just kind of a random thing that I decided. So for example, red is like a random number, where say I get like 120 or something like that, I would have to count down my shelves, probably starting up here, and only counting TBRs until I find the 120th book, which then would be my next read. Orange is just a number of the alphabet that correlates to like a last name. So if it was an A, I would have to find an author's last name. Obviously it starts with an A. It gives me a lot of options sometimes, which I think is nice. Yellow, for example, though, does not give me any options because it is just a book title. I chose random books off of the shelf and I put them in the yellow capsules, and whatever book comes out of that yellow capsule is what I'm reading. Green is just a random prompt. So like, for example, it'll be like, you have to pick a pink book or a book with a bird on the cover or something like that, and I think that's kind of fun. Blue is also the alphabet, but it would be the titles of the books themselves, not the authors, just the books. Purple is rereads, which is self-explanatory. And I think pink is probably one of the most interesting ones because it is the amount of pages. They're kind of fun, it's kind of quirky. I think it's kind of a fun way to also give me options instead of just being like, you have to read this one, where maybe I'm not in the mood for it. The only issue with that is yellow is a very dangerous color because regardless if I'm in the mood or not, I have to read it. So let's go to the Gumball Machine and see what 4 books I'm going to be reading this month. Alright, so here she is, the real star of the show. She used to be coin operated, now she's not anymore because I am a genius. But let's hope for some good capsules. It usually spits out like 2 or 3, so let's hope we get some good ones. We're gonna try to be quiet. Ooh. 3? Oh my god, 5. Okay, hold on. We got 5. So 2 red, an orange, and a blue. Okay, so we only wanted 4. Ended up getting 5. That's fine. Usually I would be like, oh, I'll just put the last one that fell out back, but I'm feeling bold. So we got 2 reds, 2 oranges, and a blue. The red is a number, so that'll be interesting. I'll open those in a second. Orange is author letter, and then blue is title letter. So let's open the reds and see what I can find from that. So first number is 271. That is really, really high. That'll be interesting. Second number. Ow. Oh my god, this is another high one. 208. Let's find those real quick and then we'll find the orange ones. So also, I think I'm going to count series on here because I have a couple shelves that are like series I need to finish. And so if I end on like the second or the third of the series, I'm going to make myself read the whole series. I'm feeling a little crazy. Scene change. I'm going to start over here. These shelves I feel like are not going to be too bad, but I'm going to start and I'll probably move like that. So 208, 271. Let's go. $200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my God. Let's keep going. 69, 70, 71. Not bad. I'll deal with that. Now let's open the other ones. Okay, we're just gonna stay standing for a second. So, 2 orange and a blue. We're gonna pop open the oranges first. Stay there. So, first author name, P. And second author name, I want you guys to see first. What is it? What's that say? I can't see it. N? N. Okay, I can work with that. Okay, so for N, we're gonna go with His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. It's small, and I think it's because Priory of the Orange Tree is really intimidating to me. So this one is kind of small, and I won't be so freaked out about the size of it. Now let's choose something for P. Okay, I think I'm gonna change genres up a little bit. We're gonna go with Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. And finally, Blue, which is the title. You guys get to look at it first. Maybe.
Huh?
What? I'm so confused. Because this is supposed to be a letter. And unless I'm having a stroke, that's a number. What? Okay, I grabbed another blue because now I'm confused. This should be a letter. It is. I'm so confused. All I can think of is if it's a weird E, but I don't write my E's like that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Change of plans. I'm gonna choose something for an E and let's see how that goes. Okay, so I grabbed the Elsewhere Express, which I know but we're skipping that for now. So I wanted to read this one for a while. It's got the pretty sprayed edges, so we're gonna try this one out. So besides the 3 that I already brought up, I am now reading Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik, The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, The Ever King by L.J. Andrews, and finally The Elsewhere Express by Samantha Soto Yambao. Anyway, that's it for my May wrap-up and June hopefuls. Very, very interesting hopefuls I have this month, but hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. I'm going to get reading here in a minute, but thank you so much for joining me. Rock up.